Okay. So we're diving into qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix. And, you sent me a bunch of these reports, all the action from today, March 22nd, 2025 at Shanghai.
Yep.
And wow, we got live timings, the grid, even some driver quotes, like all the good stuff.
Oh, here.
Yeah. So our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to kind of go through all this, pick out the big moments, and maybe find some things that people missed, like those little hidden details.
Absolutely. Qualifying's always a nail-biter. And this one, well, with the sprint race today, and the track being completely resurfaced, there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in.
Right.
Because one name is just, impossible to ignore. Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
He snagged his first ever F1 pole position.
Wow.
With an amazing lap in Q3. I mean, we're talking 1.3.641.
That's flying.
It is, and you read his comments and you can tell he was just in the zone, totally connected to the car. He even talked about how the new surface has crazy grip, but then it can just snap on you.
Yeah, that new asphalt, it's tricky. You get more grip at first, right? But then things can get really hot, really fast. If you're not careful, you're going to be oversteering all over the place.
So he's talking about that snap, right? Like the tires just lose it all of a sudden.
Exactly. It takes incredible precision, with the throttle and steering to handle that. Piastri, well, he's clearly got it.
And right on his tail, just barely behind him, George Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Clocked in at 1.30.723 for second place.
So close.
He actually said this was one of the toughest qualifying sessions he's ever done. And this guy's got experience, so that's saying something. He said he's going back and forth, feeling fast, then feeling slow, but he pulled it together for that last lap. But here's the interesting thing. He talked about the medium tires.
Oh, okay.
How tricky they were in that sprint race we saw earlier.
Yeah, that's valuable data right there. The teams will be analyzing that, seeing how the different tires performed, if the mediums were overheating or graining.
Right, graining. That's where the tire starts to break down, right?
Yeah, like little bits of rubber start coming off.
Right.
It messes with your grip. So, the big question now is, what tire strategy will they go for in the main race?
Softer tires for track position, even if they wear out faster. Or play it safe with the harder tires.
Tough choices.
And rounding out the top three, we got Lando Norris, 1.3.805.
Nice.
But here's the thing. At the end of Q2, McLaren was actually 1 and 2.
Oh, wow, a lockout.
Piastri first, Norris second. But then in Q3, Norris said he made a couple mistakes. Feels like he could have done better. But, you could tell he was happy for Piastri. First pole, that's got to be special.
Yeah, you got to love that team spirit. Disappointed for himself, but still happy for his teammate. That's what it's all about. And let's be real, everyone makes mistakes, especially on a brand new track surface like this. They're still figuring it out.
Now, the reigning champion, Max Verstappen, he's starting fourth. Yeah. 1.30.917.
Not on the front row.
Not his usual spot, but he was right there in the mix, just a tiny bit behind Norris.
Every fraction of a second counts, though.
Right. And the reports say that a bad second sector on his final lap, that's what cost him.
Oh, interesting. In F1, these guys are pushing those cars to the absolute limit. One tiny mistake, one little wobble, and that's it. You lose those precious hundredths of a second.
It really is amazing how they can push it like that.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we got to talk about Ferrari.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc starting 5th and 6th.
Right.
Hamilton, fresh off his sprint race win, his first with Ferrari, first sprint win ever. He got 1.30.927.
Nice.
Leclerc right behind him, 1.31.021. But, reading some of these F1 blogs, there's a feeling that Ferrari's qualifying, it wasn't quite as strong as maybe people expected after that sprint win.
Right. Hamilton's win, it definitely pumped everyone up.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, the sprint race, it's a different beast, different setup, different strategy.
Shorter race.
Exactly. So maybe Ferrari, they were more focused on nailing the race setup, even if it meant sacrificing a bit in qualifying.
So they're thinking long game.
Exactly. And hey, starting 5th and 6th, that's still a really good position. They're right up there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, it's crazy how close those times were behind the top three. Verstappen in 4th, Leclerc in 6th, barely a tenth of a second between them.
Yeah, it's insane how competitive it is. I mean, these drivers, the engineers, they're squeezing every ounce of performance out of those cars.
All right, now let's talk about those who didn't make it into Q3.
Yep.
Fernando Alonso, he qualified 13th, 1.31.688. And Carlos Sainz, down in 15th, 1.31.840.
Ouch.
Not what they were hoping for. Alonso even said he had some serious tire degradation during the sprint race.
Not good.
They were trying to fix that for qualifying and the race, but it sounds like they're still struggling.
Tire management is going to be key in this race, that's for sure. And starting outside the top 10, on a track where overtaking is tough, That's a big disadvantage.
Sainz, he wasn't happy either. Said his Williams car just wasn't performing well.
Yeah, if both drivers are struggling with tire wear, that might be a sign that Williams needs to rethink their setup.
Now, we did have some surprises in Q2.
Oh, yeah?
Both Racing Bulls drivers, Yuki Tsunoda and Isaac Hadjar.
Wait, I thought I saw Antonelli in the top 10 at one point.
Yeah, there was some confusion with the initial list, but it was definitely Tsunoda and Hadjar who made it to Q3.
Wow, both cars in Q3. That's huge for Racing Bulls.
It is.
Shows how much progress they've been making. You know, sometimes these midfield teams, they can really shake things up, especially when the conditions are right.
And for Hadjar, a rookie, making Q3, that's got to be a big confidence boost.
For sure.
Now, one thing that was really obvious throughout all the qualifying sessions, the track was evolving like crazy.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Lap times kept getting faster and faster as more rubber got laid down. And this new surface at Shanghai, it's brutal on the tires.
Yeah, new asphalt tends to do that.
Lots of talk about graining, you know, where the tires just start to wear down really quickly, especially if you're stuck behind another car.
Yeah, the dirty air. It disrupts the airflow, messes with your downforce, makes those tires work even harder. Starting up front, clean air, that's going to be so important in this race.
Yeah, big time. Oh, and there was also a penalty.
Oh, no. Who for?
Jack Doohan.
Okay.
10-second penalty, 2 super license penalty points.
Whoa, that's harsh. What happened?
Incident with the 2 Kick Sauber cars during practice.
Oh, boy.
He qualified 18th. And Liam Lawson, he had a tough time, too. Ended up 20th. Same as in the sprint qualifying.
Rough day for them. It's tough when you have a penalty hanging over you. It can throw off your whole rhythm.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, it's always good to look back a little, right? For some context,
Oh,
Hamilton, he's got a pretty impressive record here in Shanghai. 6 pole positions at this track.
Yeah.
Verstappen, he was on pole last year.
Okay.
And even going back further, Fernando Alonso, he's got 2 pole positions here, 2005 and 2006.
Back in the Renault days.
Exactly. But here's the crazy thing, that new track surface, the lap times this year, they're so much faster than 2024.
Really? How much faster?
We're talking seconds.
Right.
Like multiple seconds quicker per lap. It's insane.
Wow, that just shows you how much things can change in F1. One little tweak to the track, and it's a whole new ballgame.
So yeah, you've got the full picture now. The grid is set for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Right.
Piastri's amazing pole position, Russell right there with him, and all those crazy close times. The whole field is super tight. But then you have the struggles of guys like Alonso and Sainz. That tire degradation is looming over everyone. This is going to be a wild race.
Oh, yeah. Piastri and McLaren, they're looking strong right now. But the race is a whole other animal. Everyone's going to be watching those tire strategies, trying to figure out what's going to work on this new surface. And don't forget, Hamilton's got that momentum from his sprint win. Can he carry that into the race? Can Verstappen fight back from starting 4th? And what about Alonso and Sainz? Can they claw their way back up the field?
This is what makes F1 so exciting, right? You just never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. And here's something else to think about, right? With all this tire degradation, those first few laps, they can be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, totally.
If you're starting further back, you got to take some risks, try to make up positions. But if you're at the front, it's all about managing your pace, saving those tires.
So you're thinking maybe an early safety car.
Could happen. Could throw everything upside down. Or maybe it'll come down to a really clever tire strategy, something unexpected.
It's going to be a wild race, that's for sure. And I think everyone listening now, they've got all the insights they need to enjoy it.
Let's go racing.
All right. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive. We'll be back soon to break down all the action from the race.
See you then.
So, there you have it, folks. Qualifying for the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix has set the stage for what promises to be a thrilling race. Make sure to tune in and witness all the drama unfold. Until next time, keep it pinned.
And don't forget to subscribe to F1 Blogs for all the latest Formula One news, insights, and analysis. We'll be back with more exciting content soon.
See you on the track.